So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out. Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea.
I mean, there's a lot more reasons than the ones just outlined as to why men are no longer approaching women. But, it's kind of funny, right? How she opens up and she wants to pretend as though she's just finding this out because she wants to paint it as though she's still being approached by lots of men. Got to look valuable and innocent at all times, guys. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, and I've just screwed up the screen. But guys, on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at this particular TikTok, as well as a couple of other stories, right? Because you may be new to my channel, or you might have been watching for quite a while, and you may have noticed this is not a small thing that's going on, right? We got a lot of men getting out of marriages, getting absolutely fleeced, right? We got a lot of men going through false allegations. We got a lot of men who are saying, you know what, just screw relationships in general. Because the way things are going in 2021, guys, it's rough out there. I'm not gonna like it's not exactly pleasant for relationships for men and women. So the discussion's been happening, and a lot of men are saying, yeah, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm not interested. It's not worth my time. But guys, before we crack into it, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, guys, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. If you're looking to become a supporter of the channel, that's a fantastic way to do it, and the link is somewhere below the video. But guys, we're going to jump through this TikTok, excuse me, talk about it together, and then jump into a couple of stories. So let's keep going.
I apologize for that. But there's just too many fine men. And if it takes me, the women, having to come up to you guys and shooting my shot, saying what's up, being the big stepper, then I'll just have to do that. And I'm going to just start coming up to you guys and shooting out compliments and see where it takes me.
And even if she does that, which she's probably not, she's trying to prove a cute, and I use that in quotations, a point here about saying, well, guys do it, and well, if they're not going to do it, I'm just going to step up and be the big person. Like, you see how the subtle shaming, right? Because it's like, if you don't talk to them, you're a little man, you're a boy, right? So she's got to take that role and be a big man and step up to the plate and stuff like this. You see, this is kind of the stuff that they'll do, right? When she's not getting attention or when she's not getting the validation she wants, it comes back to shaming the guy. Right? Oh, I'm not called pretty. They're not talking to me. Oh, it's okay. He's just a little man. He's just, see what that is? That's ego protection. That's what that is. Right? Because rather than saying, hey, maybe I'm not worth approaching. Hey, maybe I'm not worth the risk. Maybe it's me. No, it's easier to go, oh, well, he just doesn't know what he's missing. Right? And they wonder why they get to 40 and 50 and they're living there with their cat alone. Right?
So if I start coming up to y'all in the grocery store and I say, excuse me, sir, you are just so sexy, I want a response. Okay, I don't want none of that shy stuff.
And you see, she laughs at that, right? Because she's trying to make the point, like, hey, even if you do come up, you see, that's why men don't come up in the first place, right? Is because like a lot of them just get called creepy, or you're a creepy guy, or you see, if you're attractive and you do that, it's totally fine. But if the girl doesn't like you, she's not attracted to you, she hates it. Right, you see how one can become, a criminal offense very quickly, and the other one's like, oh, ha, ha, his jokes are funny, even when they might not be funny at all. Right, and a lot of times, guys, the difference is just how attractive you are. Unfortunately, that's just what it is, right? A lot of places are currently looking at, oh, well, can we just get men to stop approaching girls and talking to them, right? It's becoming like socially outlawed at this point, right? And a lot of these girls are saying, oh, well, good, because we don't want random guys to come up and talk to us. But then they turn around and cry when it's not happening, right? Or they're like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. I had no idea, because they want to make themselves look good at the same time. Like, but we're going to analyze the first part of this TikTok as well before we jump into the stories.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore.
Yeah, brought to her attention like she's some sort of CEO, right? And it's just a person off to the side with a clipboard that's brought it to her attention. You see that? So, man, we're just like, we're painting ourselves as like an important, powerful person, and we're immune to all of this, and guys have been approaching me like no problem, but you know what, I'll step up and be the adult if this is an issue. You see how she's like inserting herself as like some sort of big grown person while trying to belittle guys that don't want to approach her? It's funny how that works, right? It's very funny how they paint themselves, because there's like 50 different ways. When girls talk a lot of the time, I'm sure if you guys watch Fresh and Fit at all, you know how this works, where girls will try and paint themselves as like innocent and pure and like, or in charge, and they know what they're doing, right? And meanwhile, you know that they're crying themselves to sleep because they couldn't get that guy that they want.
Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection.
Yeah, and of course that's news to her because she wouldn't know anything about that, right, guys? Like I mean, some of the things that girls will do, right, when they reject guys, very brutal, right? And I get a lot of times they have to be polite as well, because we got some psycho guys out here who will like flip. But at the end of the day, guys, men are just looking at this and going, "Yeah, look, I don't even care anymore. Like I really don't. It doesn't matter to me. Like even if you don't reject me, and we have fun for an evening or two, a lot of men are going, yeah, well, that's me. Bye. I'm out, because the commitment, like the pair bonding at this point, a lot of the times has just been absolutely shattered. Like if this girl's approaching you, right, that means she's also approached 50 other dudes. You get that? Like these girls who want to hit on guys and all that sort of thing. I mean, they've approached a lot of other people, right? So it's not as if you're the only one and you're kind of lucky. And speaking of lucky, gentlemen, we're going to crack into some of the articles and stuff we've got pulled up here. And I mean, let's just kick this one off. Okay, so this lady, let me pull it up slightly. 34-year-old flight attendant, right? And this is a bio, so let's crack into it, right? Okay, so let's get this clear. I'm 5'10" without heels, so you need to be at least 6'1". Thank you. If not, swipe left. So let's just talk about this for a second. Okay, we talk about dudes getting rejected, right? And she just doesn't see how that's a problem or anything, right? The average height of a man, I believe, in America, I'm not from America, but I believe the average height in America is 5'9". Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So she's taller than the average man, and she wants a guy who's 6'1". Okay, and let's just talk about that for a second. That is likely one of the many criteria that this lady wants you to have. Okay, so a lot of men are looking at this and going, well, I'm just being dismissed off of one criteria that I can't even control. And if it's one of many criteria, well, why the hell would I even bother? Not only that, I have to be this height to qualify for someone who's 34. You see how that just doesn't make sense at all, right? It's like a lot of times it's just better not to give a crap. See, these girls will come around and they'll be complaining about, oh, how come men don't care about me? How come they don't talk to me? How come this? How come I don't have a relationship, a husband, or whatever the hell? And then they'll write bios like this, and they'll be surprised that men will look at this and they'll literally be like, okay, even if we were to end up together, or we were to have fun or whatever the case may be, I still don't care. Like I still don't care, because they clearly like caring about the other person is not in here. If to be considered, I need to be 6'1", right? Anyway, oh, pardon me, she's 37, not 34. So at some point she's entered her age 3 years less into the app. Interesting. Scary. If you think I'm too old, swipe left. I'm ready for serious stuff. Marriage, babies, house, a dog, the whole package. If you're not, swipe left. And I mean, guys, who's providing those things? You think it's going to be her providing it? You think that she's going to be providing the ring? You think that she's going to be buying the house? I'm not so sure, guys. Like, and you have to do this for someone who's 37. For what? You know what I mean? If you're an F-boy or a player, help yourself and swipe left. I'm a flight attendant, working a lot, but also have a lot of days off and vacation. They say, marry me, fly for free. It is true. And then she says, peace out. I mean, is anyone here convinced? Like, really? It's just absolutely ridiculous. And, we got another one lined up here, right? And it's interesting. We're starting to notice a theme, right, guys? Like the theme seems to be tall. So let's just crack into this. We have an age 27 this time. If we are a match, tell me your best pickup line. Don't like boring people. Boring people, excuse me. And I love tall men, haha. All capitals on the tall with a double dot ellipsis, right? I am a full-time mother. She is my life and she comes first. Well, I am also pretty funny and I don't keep to myself what I have in mind. I'm assuming that means what. And then they've got the social links there that I'm assuming have been blurred out. Guys, the amount of grammatical errors in this alone should be enough to deter you. I mean, we got so many L's, we got capitals all over the place, we got misspelled words, we got no grammar at all, and we got obviously, just calling themselves funny, even though they're probably not. Now that can be a bit mean, guys, but we already know when people attribute characteristics to themselves, usually they're not true. Right? I'm funny, I'm quirky, I'm a great catch, and you think to yourself, wow, really, if you were such a great catch, I mean, where the hell is everyone, right? And we're going to jump into today's story, guys, here, which is, it's a very interesting one, okay? And it is titled, Your Feelings, in brackets, Intuition, Are Your Very Best Guide. What you'll notice, guys, if you've watched my video from earlier today, the one about the lady who's 38 and looking for a marriage, even though she's had multiple opportunities to have a marriage, she's out there looking for the marriage, but it didn't feel right in her gut. What that really means is, I still think I have time. Okay, I still think I have time to go out there and just waste my youth, kind of thing, and then turn around at the end and go, well, I need someone to pick up the bags. I need someone to pay for this. I need someone to pay for that. A lot of times, gentlemen, I've said this many, many times on the channel, but you'll kind of get put into two different categories, right? Like you'll get put into the category of, okay, well, am I paying for everything, or does the person actually care about me? And when I say care, I use that word loosely also, right? Because a lot of the times what ends up happening is if you're an older gentleman, or like you're someone who, not necessarily just older, right? Because you can be older and have an incredible amount of self-respect. But if you're finding that you're someone who lacks self-respect and you have resources, you will be the kind of target for this. The kind of target where, okay, well, I'm going to lock you down for a long-term relationship, and you're the one that's to provide for me the entire time. So let's crack into this and have a bit of an unpack of it. Like many of you, I have struggled with an immense loss of self due to multiple instances of trauma in and outside of therapy. I often find myself struggling to trust my own feelings. I knew then that I would rather double check with others I deem trustworthy than solely rely on my own judgment. While this may be beneficial with vetted people who have your best interest at heart, this mentality may put you in harm's way. Translation. So she was with Chad, having fun and stuff like that. And she would be upset that he would, follow girls on Instagram or not be fully committed to her. And she would have a problem with that. He would say, we're not in a real relationship or something like that. But her feelings would be telling her that they are in a relationship. You see how, like, a lot of times, guys, the feelings can go against what actually happens. So if you tell them they're wrong, right, what you're really telling them is that they're right. Like, like in their mind, they're like, well, I feel this way for a reason, so it must be true. That's the thought process right there, right? It's like, I feel this way, so it must be true, even though it might not be true. So, for example, like you'll see all these girls get in relationships that aren't really relationships, and they'll think to themselves, well, I feel it to be true, so therefore it has to be. And they'll cling to the dream of being with that guy who has no interest in them. A lot of guys just have no interest in these girls, man. Like, just absolutely none. But they want to lie to themselves and say, oh, it's really there, or, but obviously the feelings come first, right? Before the facts, as it usually is. Anyway. Do not let anyone define your reality. When you express that you are upset and here you're making a big deal out of nothing, know that you are hearing this person define your experience and reality instead of attempting to gently repair the issue, because obviously, guys, if they're feeling a particular way, it is your responsibility to gently repair the issue, guys. That's what we're here for. We're here as repairmen to emotional concerns. Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so, guys. Like, a lot of people, what they want to do is they want to say, well, I'm feeling a particular way, so you have to solve it. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, I feel like this about you, so you have to solve it. Dude, I don't have to solve anything. I don't. Like, and what'll happen is these people will get into situationships, and they'll think to themselves, oh, well, I don't like this behavior about him, so he has to fix it. He doesn't have to fix anything. And a lot of the times, guys, if you're doing the fixing, I mean, be prepared for the person to run away. Like, because they liked you before you made any changes. What'll happen is people will repair issues. Like guys will go out of their way to fix all the problems. They'll fix things in the house. They'll be nice. They'll try and be emotionally available, help her with their emotional problems or whatever the hell the case may be. And before you know it, like she's just out of the damn window. She's just gone. And you'll think to yourself, what happened? I did everything I could. What happened? I did what she told me to do, and now she's gone. And that's it. That's the problem, because you did everything. You tried to repair everything. You tried to fix everything. That's the problem. This is the essence of crazy making and psychological A-word. Denying your reality to yield power control over you and escape accountability. Maybe you should take accountability for your own emotions. How about that? Wild idea, I know. It is incredibly vital that you recognize and honor your feelings. For example, reframe your thinking from "this must be my problem since I feel hurt" to "I feel hurt, I'm being hurt." Your critical thinking skills have to take a form of consistent recognition. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You can think you're feeling hurt. Like you can feel sad, you can feel happy. That doesn't mean that you have a reason to. Like you understand a lot of the times, gentlemen, people's feelings change like the weather. Sometimes there isn't any reason for it. You haven't noticed how, like, maybe you'll be chilling and you're in a guy and you're in a long-term relationship and she'll just come into the house throwing all sorts of like everything was fine a second ago, and then she'll just come in throwing all sorts of drama that hasn't ever been an issue before, but now all of a sudden it's an issue. Right? Like feelings just change like the wind, guys. We're not here to solve all these problems. Like you'll get these single mothers, man, who think like, oh yeah, it's someone time to step up and I need a real man to solve my problems and all this crap. It's like, no. No. And just because you have those feelings doesn't mean that they're based in reality at all. Like you can feel jealous because you think your husband's doing something. He might not be doing anything at all. So he doesn't have to justify crap as far as I'm concerned. Let's continue. It is incredibly vital that you recognize blah, blah, blah. Often I, along with other people, would dismiss my feelings of confusion and hurt because I thought that they were the aftermath of my trauma, as if the pain I was feeling wasn't somehow a fabrication of my imagination. It was not. If it hurts, there must be a reason why. So learn how to trust yourself before anyone else. I cannot count the amount of times my intuition proved to be right. Meanwhile, I was fooling myself thinking it was just my projection. It wasn't. Therefore, I would like to see this post, to use this post as a discussion on this very important topic. What strategies or techniques did you use to help yourself get in touch with your intuition? Yeah, guys, maybe she just has that intuition where one day she wakes up and she's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'll take off your crap. Oh, I'm not really feeling it. You see, the problem with this is feelings change moment to moment. They change a lot quicker than facts. Okay, so these people want to use feelings as the guidance for their life. I mean, good luck to you, man. Let's have a look at some of what people say. This topic does not get enough exposure. When I first met my no-value ex, I'm pretty sure that's what it means. My gut told me immediately nope. But I had been single for years. He was attractive enough, and I told my inner guide to take a hike. Oh, still I regret heeding that inner voice. Pardon me. So this lady, let's look at this. She's been single for many years, and he was attractive enough. Like, I wonder how old this lady is. She's probably quite on. And what she's done is, what these people will do is, you see, they know the regret is coming, guys. I kind of want to finish it off with this note here, okay? These people know that the regret is coming, but they still go through the terrible decisions afterwards, and then they want to just mull in the regret and oh, I should have trusted my gut. So you know what? I've gone through all these terrible experiences with these guys, but now I know my sense of self-worth. I know what I'm worth, and I want a real man to step up and solve all my problems, right? And then they wonder, like they get to this age, guys, and they wonder, well, where are the men going? Like, what are they doing? Why are they not talking to us? Why are they not solving our problems? This is exactly why. It's like, you had your chance. I mean, look at this. Single for years. Anyway, I have immense social anxiety and I'm a pretty pessimistic person by nature. How can you differentiate between paranoia and intuition trying to warn you of something? Because I can't tell the difference to save my life. Intuition is your brain doing the hard work of putting 1,000 clues together, then says, hey, and relies on you to listen and work out an exit. Survival instincts is your brain putting together clues and saying, oh hell no, I'm driving, and she runs you to the exit or makes you freeze. Socialization is our front brain saying, just give him a chance, smile. Paranoia is our front brain saying, Yeah, but what about the time in grade 3 when something like this happened? Wouldn't it be a shame if? Now, you know, the funny thing about this, guys, is you may be inclined to read this article and you may be inclined to think, oh, well, look at these people. They've gone through terrible situations. It really sucks. What I'd like to point out to you is that they seek out these bad boys, these guys that'll break their heart, these guys that have lots of other girls chasing them. They actively seek out these people because they already have the social proof behind them. You see, like if a guy has no girls that like him, you can bet your behind that a girl isn't randomly going to, stumble upon him and go, oh wow, he's a keeper. No other girls want him, so I want him. That's not how it works. It works the opposite way around. So girls are actually attracted to situations where they put the clues together and they say, oh, well, there are 10 girls commenting on his Instagram post. So, oh, I hate it, but also I'm attracted to him because of it. They don't think the second part consciously. They just want to cry about it, right? And this sort of stuff becomes really problematic when any sort of long-term relationship is trying to be formed, right? Because they're attracted to these behaviors, but these behaviors only facilitate a short-term relationship, right? And then what they need to do is they need to source a guy who can, after they've had kids or whatever the case may be, to supplement their lifestyle and pay for crap and the kids. And that's how you wind up with all these single mother problems, guys. But gentlemen, we're going to leave today's show there. Bit of a rambly one. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a comment below, guys. If you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to do so. That's what the comments are for. As always, subscribe on your way out if you enjoyed the video. And if you'd like to support the channel, guys, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. So if you're looking to become a supporter, that's a fantastic way to support the channel. And the link is somewhere below the video. But guys, we're going to leave it there. As always, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.